What is up, folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Guess what time it is? It's summertime, and summertime around here means worm fishing, and the big worm is gonna be your friend early in the summer when the fish get out on the deep structure, when they get out there on the deep weed lines and the humps and the ledges and the saddles. The big worm can be a big time player. So we're gonna go underwater today. We're gonna talk about ways that I rig the big worm, where I'm gonna fish it, how I fish it, and most importantly, how you can catch more bass this summer. Let's go. Guys, today's video is brought to you by VantageTackle.com. It is a website full of custom lures. So if you are like me, you love custom stuff, go on over to VantageTackle.com, check it out. Let me know in the comment section what baits you want me to feature in the next video. Got one. Feels pretty good. Oh, wow. There we go. 2.5. Solid. Solid. Look at that one. That's when you get excited about right there.
Oh, there we go. Yep, there's number. Yep.
Oh, yes. Ready to get. Oh! That's a...
Hey. Wacky.
What up?
Wacky.
Oh. Holy shit. That's the right kind, too.
Slap hand. It's a...
That's 5. It is 109.
Alright folks, big worms can be a savior in the summer months, as you saw there, Kate and I both having some clutch catches on the big worm. The first way I like to fish this is just a straight up Texas rig. This is a classic way to fish a big worm, and the Texas rig is going to get you through cover, it's going to get you bit, and it can be fished up shallow, it can be fished out deep. I like to fish it with a 1/4 ounce weight out deep, and I like to fish it through grass and structure like you see here, letting it fall into those holes to pull those bass out of those different locations. It's a great presentation to throw on deep structure simply because it gets down there effectively and efficiently. I like to throw it unpegged. You can also throw it on a free rig, and the free rig is just going to detach it a little bit more than an unpegged Texas rig. Really, it's kind of a very similar presentation, but the free rig almost makes the bait fall a little bit slower. So the bait that you're seeing here is the 8-inch Cape Cutter by Bait Cave Customs, and this is a basic big 8-inch worm that I'm going to throw. You're seeing it in a lot of different color variations. You can see how that slower fall on the free rig really gives it a nice subtle action. It gives it a more muted action, if you will. So if fish are more funky, throw the free rig. If fish are more active, throw that Texas rig. It simply is a slower presentation that does a lot of the same things. These worms are great. Consistency on all of their pores and consistency on plastic is super good. They're also versatile. You can do a lot of different things with them. And another way that I like to fish this bait out deep is on a rugby head or a swing jig, if you want to call it. But basically, when you're around rock or deep structure, this is a great way to present it. I like to throw it around grass too because it comes through surprisingly well, and we have a lot of shell beds and humps and vegetation that it can come through. Another way to present this is literally on a very, very, very light Texas rig, and I'm going to swim this worm around shallow grass. For whatever reason, this worm swims really good around shallow grass. I've slowed it down here so you can really see the body roll and wobble on this bait. And this worm just is a really versatile, different worm. I like to swim dark worms in vegetation because it's just something that fish can pick up on easier, and as you're letting it go through this standing vegetation and fall into holes, you can really get bit. Now when I'm swimming a worm, I like to use a screw lock hook just because it keeps that worm more weedless, and it generally prolongs the life of that worm, if you will. It adds a little bit of bulk to it, but it doesn't add too much. I'm throwing this on a 16th ounce weight here. I always like to throw everything unpegged if I can get away with it. I feel like it just gets you more bites because it looks better. My secret way I like to throw the big worm is on the shaky head. Here's a 1/8 ounce Woo Tungsten screw lock shaky head, and I like to throw this when fish are out deep in that 12 to 15 foot of water range, and I want the worm on the bottom. If fish are locked onto the bottom and you can't really see them on the graph, this is a great bait to throw. This is also a fantastic bait to throw if you just caught a bunch of fish on a crankbait and you want to mop it up, or a swim bait and you want to mop up some extra bites on those schoolies out deep. Throw the big worm at them. Oftentimes, like you saw in the video, you're going to get a really nice fish out of that combination. So throwing that big worm on a shaky head can be a great thing to do. I also like to dumb worm. I like to call it dumb worming because it's putting a small jig head on that worm body and throwing it up shallow and around cover. If I'm doing this, I'm throwing the 1/8 ounce to 1/4 ounce upgrade jig head, as you can see here. You can also swim these worms and almost tickle wind it through vegetation on the upgrade jig head. And the cool thing is it remains a great presentation that works simply because it works. That is what dumb worming is. Sometimes things just work because they work, and who be I to tell you why, but I know that swimming a worm on a jig head has caught me hundreds of fish. Dave has proven it over and again this spring into the summer, and it's just a great presentation that allows fish a different look at what they would normally see in a big worm, and it's great.
The big worm can be a game changer this time of year because it is a presence in the water. Its profile is great, that big kicking tail. When I moved up to the North Country from down south, I started fishing a big worm on a shaky head, and let me tell you, I started tearing fish up deep when other guys weren't catching anything. And sometimes the way you present something matters. You have to be in tune with what the fish want. I like an unpegged Texas rig a lot more than I like a pegged Texas rig. I like to fish those worms like a Florida style worm. You can throw them up shallow, you can wind them, you can burn them through cover, you can fish them on a Tokyo rig, you can fish them on a jig head and stupid worm them. You can do all kinds of things, but the big worm simply is a big profile bait that's gonna get you bit. Guys, if you like what's going on the channel right now, head on over to our video sponsors on Vantage Tackle, Bait Cave Customs. They do a fantastic job, right, building out lures that help you catch fish. Sorry, excuse me. Let us know in the comment section what baits you want us to feature on our next video, or what techniques you want us to cover. We've got a whole rundown of baits that we're gonna start featuring, and we're gonna start doing your classic bass fishing baits, where to fish them, how to rig them, and what to do. So let us know in the comment section what you wanna see from us in the future, and we will see you out there next time, guys. Let's go.